So today I've got a really interesting video for you, and I got this idea the other day and I thought, could this potentially be happening? And I thought I'd share this with you guys. And what could potentially be happening is Wall Street could be potentially sleeping on a boom that is about to happen. And what I mean by that, I'll show you very quickly in a second. Now the key thing is to go, what is everyone thinking right now? When you listen to investors, when you listen to everyone giving their forecast for the year, whatever you listen to, what is the common theme out there? And I would say that 80 to 90% of people that I'm listening to talking about the stock market, everyone is saying the first part of 2023 is not going to be good. It's going to probably be flat, potentially downtrend, maybe 5%, maybe up to 10%. But everyone's kind of saying we're in that sort of range where the start of 2023 is not going to be great, and potentially it might be a little bit of a downward trend more than anything. But when you listen to everyone about what they're thinking is going to happen in the back end of 2023, everyone's a little bit more optimistic. Everyone says, okay, we might be set for a good position in 2024. We might even see a bit of a rally in the back end of 2023. We might see earnings start doing okay. We might see inflation start coming down to a really low level. If inflation is coming down to a really low level, by the back end of the year, we start seeing the Fed starting to pivot a little bit, and then that puts us in a good path for 2023. Or potentially, we see the optimism return in the back end of 2023, ready for 2024. And we start to see earnings start to be a little bit better as well. So the majority, like I said, 80-90% of what I'm listening to is that kind of consensus where the start of 2023 is meh. The back end of 2023 could be okay. 2024 could be a very good year in the stock market. And that's what you're starting to hear a lot in the stock market. Now, the problem is this. If everyone, or the majority of people, have that mindset in the stock market at the moment, what is going to happen? Because you've got a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines, a lot of cash is being pulled out of the market, everyone's kind of positioning themselves on when to get into the market. A lot of people are kind of still, but I don't want to put all my money into the market just yet. And then when you start looking at where the market potentially could go in the next year, there's three potential scenarios. I've simplified it a little bit here. So you could have an uptrend, you could go flat, you could go down for the year. But if there's all this money and everyone's watching this dip down here and the stock prices keep going lower and lower, and everyone thinking, well, by the end of the year, I think we could be here. I think we'll be okay. Or in 2024, we could be up here. As soon as you see the market or the S&P start rallying up 5%, 10%, 15%, as soon as you start seeing the rally coming up on the stock market and a lot of share prices, what's everyone going to do? Everyone is kind of at the consensus that 2023 of the back end or 2024 is going to be good. So everyone wants to get back in before that point. Everyone's waiting to get in for that point. And if you start having the stock market rallying up 5%, 10%, what's everyone going to be doing? Everyone's going to be going, well, I didn't think the stock market was going to boom until, the back end of 2023, 2024. And if that stock market starts booming a couple months earlier because a few people want to be the first there, the first one to still buy these prices at quite low ranges, if there's the first couple of people to start jumping in these share prices and we start going up, you're going to see everyone chasing up the stock market. You're going to see everyone chasing going, oh, I wanted to get in, but I was leaving it another 6 months because I thought that's when everyone else would jump in. But then you start having the few people that start jumping a little bit early, especially when you start thinking the stock market's future thinking. The stock market is going to be, you only have to look at 2022. We saw how many stock prices already cratering early of 2022 before we even we had major issues in the world, because everyone was already thinking, okay, is inflation going to get bad? Are the Fed going to start putting interest rates up? The Ukraine-Russia situation. A lot of that was future thinking priced in. So if everyone's future thinking now and seeing if everyone starts going, okay, it's going to rally at the back end of 2023, everyone's not going to wait to the back end of 2023 to then jump into the market, because you would have already missed the market. Then all that money on the sidelines would be like, oh, I've missed it now. So as soon as you have a bit of momentum building, everyone's going to jump on that momentum, because oh, well, I wanted to buy in 3 months' time, but now is probably my time to buy because the stock market's going up. So when we see some momentum start building in the stock market, or potentially some optimism moving into the back end of 2023 into 2024, it could be interesting where people jump the gun a little early and we see the momentum building. Everyone thinks that momentum's in the back end, but what happens if we start doing that a few months early because people want to get in at these low prices still? And that could be something that happens. And we saw something very similar in March 2020 in the CV times. We had a major dip in the share price. Now when we got to the bottom here, everyone priced in, okay, this CV situation, it's bad. It's going to be around for 2 years. Companies aren't going to be operating for 2 years. And then eventually, what you saw people go, well, if it's 2 years, still these prices are ridiculously cheap. And the optimism started building and people started going on the whole situation of, oh, actually, when you look at it, some companies are still, operating. You look at the likes of Microsoft, they're not actually doing that bad. They're still doing very well through the situation. And even some physical locations that were switching to online, you were looking at them going, oh, well, they've recovered a lot of the revenue and profit from the online part of it. And it kept going up and up and up. Now, funny enough, by the time we got up to quite highs, the CV situation hadn't got any better. But because there was optimism around going, well, companies' earnings are going to, return again in 12 months' time, everything's going to be okay. You saw everyone trying to jump in at these lows and start buying up the shares, and the stock prices went absolutely crazy because people were trying to jump the gun. Everyone was looking at that going, well, companies' financials are going to be still okay further down the line, so let's buy now. And it's what we kind of have here, not to the extent of the CV times, because there was a lot of retail investors getting involved in there, but not enough to kind of be the main cause of that rally. A lot of this is big money on the sidelines. And it's the same in this sort of 2022 situation. It might not be something on this side kind of lines here, but when you've got that much cash sitting down the line and everyone's thinking it's going to be towards the back end of the year where we start to see potentially this rally going forward, well, everyone's not going to jump in when that rally's starting. Everyone wants to jump in before the rally and pick up them lower share prices before the rally. So then when you think the rally's going to happen at the later end of the year, what happens if it's pulled forward because everyone wants to be in before that rally? And I thought that's quite an interesting point. If everything lines up, what everyone's thinking this year, especially in the first couple of months, if we start to see the inflation coming down at a rapid rate, if we see companies' earnings holding up, if we start seeing the Fed kind of go, okay, inflation's coming down, we're going to keep slowing the rate that we're putting our interest rates up, and everything plays out how we think it's going to play out, why is everyone not going to jump the gun? Because everyone wants them prices, don't they? And it's just something that I thought about the other day. I thought, we could potentially see this rally at the end of the year, but why would everyone wait for the rally? Wouldn't you want to be in earlier? Wouldn't you want everyone to jump in front? So I just thought it's something just to be, really careful of, and just something to be aware of, that what everyone's predicting in the stock market doesn't normally go that way. And this is potentially one way that potentially could change what a lot of people are thinking and how people react, and potentially buy the dip and see when shares could actually potentially have a bit of bounce. So hope you enjoyed it. Just a little bit of a crazy idea out there for you to think about anyway. Hope you enjoyed it, especially if you're new around here, subscribe, and I'll catch you in a bit.